Welcome. The Card is Going to Change, presented by AIW and sponsored by Smart Mark Video. And this is Awesome Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Glenn Moore, and join me in studio, like always, the co-owners of AIW, Mr. John Thorne and Chandler Biggins. And also making a return appearance on the podcast. And this podcast is about the stories of this man, a man who recently retired, Aaron Bauer. Aaron, thank you for joining us back in studio. But the first question is, why the retirement?
I got to pardon the interruption on this one, too.
You got to properly introduce you.
Look, the retirement.
People want to know, man. These are the.
People want to know. They keep asking us.
You were a broadcast journalist. Now we got the microphones, and we're broadcast journalizing the fuck out of you. We want to know why you retired, because you never told us.
Glenn
really.
Moore, Chandler Biggins, John Thorne are getting the scoop on Aaron Bauer.
We're trying to get the scoop, man. Scoop daddy.
All right.
Ex-roommate.
I don't know.
We got to cut that.
No way. Keep it going.
No cuts here. I don't know, man. Retirement, that's not it. I hate saying I retired because I don't know.
When you told us, man, we almost cried, for real.
But I hate to use the term retirement.
Because you already came back at absolution.
No, man, it's just, all I said was don't book me after, March or April.
And then we keep giving you dates.
But, I don't know. I coach Little League Baseball. My kids are old enough now where I got a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old that play Little League Baseball. So.
I think we could go back to when we first met you, and if you would have told 2006 Aaron that you had a full-time career, you had a driver's license, you had decent credit, you had kids that you knew about,
right.
What would you say?
Oh, man, I don't know that I would have
I think AIW grew you up, man.
Yeah. As AIW grew, I had to grow with it.
Before we even go on, this just popped into my head. This is probably one of my earliest memories of you. Had to have been your first or second AIW show ever. I barely even knew you. You somehow discovered that the Duke is an accountant and he does taxes. And I just remember being in the AIW locker room.
This came up in my head immediately, too.
And you walk in with just all these crumpled up pieces of paper.
He had a brown paper bag, grocery bag.
Like from fucking 1991, like a paper bag from the grocery store. Just all these papers and all this fucking wrappers and shit in there, like fucking McChicken wrappers, all kinds of shit. And you go, hey, you're the Duke, right? He goes, yeah. What's up? He goes, so you do taxes? And he goes, yeah, that's my real job. And you go, well, you think you could help me out? I haven't done my taxes in the last decade. And I have all these papers here. If you could sort this out for me.
Lots of W-2s, so many of them. Right? Isn't that what they are? They're W-2s?
Yeah. He hadn't filed his taxes probably in his entire adult life. And this is the guy that we just we hired on.
And
I knew at that point that I was gonna love this fucking guy.
Well, I think we had met doing these shitty shows in Cleveland, like the Shindies of Cleveland, because we were kind of just doing them to do them, and I think you were just kind of doing them to do them. And I remember talking to you at a Ring of Honor show, and we were putting over how hot Lacey was back in the old Lacey Rain days. This is 2006. This is right before we booked you. This was like the tipping point. Like, we liked you. We were friends.
I do want to point out before you finish this story that your gimmick at the time was of a police officer named Officer
Fresh Aronson.
Fresh Aronson. And you wore a bulletproof vest.
And a full cop outfit.
Yes.
Yeah.
With a nightstick and handcuffs. But okay, continue your story.
So you and me were just mingling around ROH, and this is the first time they ever ran Cleveland, and Lacey walks by, and she's like, ew, I hate you fans, or whatever. And you look over to her, and you point to me, and you go, my buddy is dying. And she feels bad, like I'm like a Make-A-Wish kid or something.
Yeah.
So she starts walking over, and you go, he's dying to meet ya. She looked like she'd been the world's biggest lemon.
Well, I was trying to get over with you because I knew that, there were these tickets coming out, like these legit printed tickets from Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster, yeah.
Yeah, and it said, AIW, whatever your show was.
And I think you liked our flyers, I remember you saying.
And it said Chandler Biggins on the tickets. Owner Chandler Biggins, and I was like, man, I gotta get over with this dude because I want to be part of this. They have legit
And
tickets.
you knew I wanted to meet Lacey.
Yeah, and the other thing was I had saw the flyers. I was at a training with Christian Faith, and
Never heard of him.
yeah, he had the flyers, and I was like, "What? This looks like a legit promotion. These are nice flyers. These are real flyers.
They were color.
Not made on some dude's computer." You know, and I said, "Hey, man, who do I talk to? How do I get in?" And he goes, "Oh no, man, they're not booking anybody right now." And I was like, "Oh shit."
We already had
Well,
a shitty manager.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get in somehow. So then, when you were at that ROH show, I made
Because
sure
I remember we knew
positioned
each other and
myself.
we were friendly before that, but that was like the tipping point where I'm like, I love this guy.
Yeah, I knew it was time to make my move then if I was gonna get into AIW.
And then immediately
Because
after that show,
you kept saying how much you love Lacey, right, Lacey?
Yeah, I
and
love
yeah. I was like, well, then I'm gonna get this girl over here to talk to him.
And then immediately, I think you were on the next AIW show, which we could talk about that.
We took away your police uniform, though.
Yeah, we took
Right.
away your police uniform, and I pitched him. I go, you should be the modern day Paul E. Dangerously. So he went and got a suit. Hopefully, it's not your wedding suit.
It came later.
And you got a phone, but they didn't sell the old the old brick phones anymore. So you brought your cordless phone from home.
Yeah, big cordless phone. That's right.
So he was walking around cutting these promos, talking on a cordless phone.
Well, you guys handed me a script when I walked in, and I think you would have called me Aaron Anderson at first, and it said Aaron Anderson interrupts with Thrillbilly, but it said, "Come up with an opening line. This is what we have for you." Well, or excuse me, and I thought, excuse me, that'll never get over. And Vicky Guerrero, but and so I was like, okay, well, I'll come up with something, and I don't know, pardon the interruption.
Yeah, I don't know how we came up with your name, but I remember I love 24, and the main guy on there is Jack Bauer, and I'm like, you're Aaron Bauer.
That's 100% where you came up with
Well, I
that.
know that's 100%, but I don't know why I thought of that. But I remember I'd never let any other promotion use that last name. That's how you became
That was
Aaron
your
McGuire.
intellectual property.
That's my intellectual property. I filed the trademark. I mailed myself a letter.
Yeah, what was your other name that you had to be?
I was Aaron McGuire.
McGuire, yeah.
And I
Aaron
couldn't be
McGuire.
Aaron Bauer.
Yeah, because Biggins fucking
said he had
fucking
the-
threw a fit.
Yeah.
Calling my Todd lawyers.
Yeah, and I think probably one of your earliest tasks was we put you in charge of babysitting New Jack.
Yeah.
That was within for your first 3 shows.
right. It was Absolution, baby.
It's like, this guy's a fucking cop. You know, he can handle New Jack.
Tommy Rich says he's a detective or something,
Yeah, dude, there's a running theme with you of being a law enforcement officer.
which probably is very ironic, right?
Yeah, well, we were sitting at that bar at Peabody's. I think wasn't Absolution a 2-day event or something?
Yeah,
the first day.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what? New Jack came in that day or the next day? Whatever.
No.
But
he came in that day and you guys hit it off.
Yeah.
So then he was here. You had booked him to do a clinic with young students.
Yeah.
The next time we booked him.
no, I didn't book him. He booked himself.
Well, we talked about that earlier in an earlier episode.
Yeah. He was
He
just trying
found
to get
out
more
you
dates.
go to a training school, and then he's just like,
Yeah, he asked me, "Yo, you got a training center?" or
That's
something?"
how you got hooked
And he
up
said,
with him.
because we could join up together, and it could be Aaron and New Jack's wrestling school.
I get a van with my
That's
picture
how
on
you
the
got in
side.
charge with him, because he fucking made you set up a clinic with him, and then you had to fucking be in charge of him
2
for the
things
day.
I remember from that clinic. Number 1, Fresh. I had to drive him around Cleveland.
That's Aaron. The people know him as Fresh.
People call it Fresh Aronson.
Yeah, my white envelopes still say fresh on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a 40-year-old man. They call me fresh.
We just call him Fresh because he was Fresh Aronson. But I remember driving you around Cleveland because you couldn't find Western Union to send New Jack his money,
Yeah, because he needed his training deposit,
his
right?
training
Yeah,
deposit.
yeah.
And then the day of the show, he gets to the training center and is mad there's no open bar. So we had to go to Little Chet's Chicken and get vodka.
Yep, he needed his vodka.
And he needed an ice chest to put it in because he said he doesn't drink warm beverages.
I think those are all true stories. Yeah, but New Jack wanted to go out, and he wanted to see Cleveland, and you guys were like, well, Aaron, Fresh, can you go out with New
Show
Jack?
New Jack around.
Yeah.
Another thing earlier in the day, because we'll get to what happened at nighttime, which I know is the Jollyville Fucket's favorite story of all time. But during that day, we had given you money because New Jack said he wanted to stay at the shadiest hotel in Ohio, and you took him to it, and it was so bad that New Jack says, "This is bad."
Where'd you take him, like the Illyria Motel or something?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Lyria Motel, and
He goes,
yeah,
"You gotta
he
take me out of
refused.
here."
Right. Let's see what else. So I hooked up with him. Oh, and I didn't have a license, so I could drive. So you guys had to find a ref and a security guard or something with license to drive us.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Yeah, and it was a Sunday.
No
absolute
license,
And then
no
Sunday.
the clinic was great because he just told the Gypsy Joe story about 5 times. You know, college baseball is a baseball bat's metal, and it goes ping.
And that's how he hit Gypsy Joe,
in the
right? That
head.
sounded
And then
it.
the whole clinic consisted of him grabbing people and going, yeah, and shoot punching them.
I missed all of this. This is all you got.
Right or wrong. Tracy Smothers.
You're right. So what? Then we got these guys. They were driving us around. New Jack wanted to see Cleveland. We went to Alice Cooper's restaurant or whatever it was in Cleveland at the time. There was a homeless guy outside begging for money. And New Jack, all the stories, him hitting somebody with a baseball bat, him stabbing Eric Coulis, just all this crazy shit. So we get to this restaurant. This guy's sitting out there begging for money. New Jack goes in. We order our food, and he orders an extra dinner of like a double cheeseburger and fries, all this shit, and something to drink. And then he takes it outside and gives it to this homeless guy. Just like, wait a minute, this is New Jack?
Was your mind blown that New
Yeah.
Jack is like a good charitable Samaritan?
Totally. Yeah, I was just like not ready for that.
Now, was that New Jack or Jerome?
Don't call him Jerome.
Yeah.
But
So out of the other tip, so that's the nice side of New Jack.
right. That's it. We got that out of the way.
Yeah, we got. He had
And
his quota.
that was it, right?
Then,
Like,
yeah. Then the day goes on.
His
and
karma bank was full.
It's a Sunday, so we're in Cleveland. He wants strip clubs. So we're going to all these strip clubs. Nobody's open on Sundays.
But if anybody's familiar with Elyria, Ohio, there's a strip called the Brass Pole, which is only the finest adult establishment. And right before we went
Didn't
to
you
the
see a
strip,
girl's water break there once?
Yeah.
stage?
yeah, water broke on stage.
Water broke on stage.
Didn't they have a midget once?
Probably more than once.
So what's wrong with a midget, man?
Nothing. I'm just saying that's what it's a fine
You
establishment.
said it in a negative kind of.
I don't believe I did.
Yeah.
I love Hornswoggle.
Okay.
So, anyways, we go to this Brass Pole, but New Jack made you drive him around without a license, and you disappeared for 4 hours like the Laredo Kid.
Right.
While I'm stuck in the parking lot of this establishment with Van Hughes, who is New Jack's handler.
Infamously known for the no sell on the Burning Hammer and IW Mid-South.
Yeah, I love Van Hughes. He's the greatest dude, but he did no sell that. and no job skis.
Yeah, no chopsticks for Van Hughes skis.
So when we booked JT Lightning versus Van Hughes, we had to separate the matches.
Yeah, no jobs for either of them. That's right.
So you guys come back to the Brass Pole, and New Jack is probably pretty wired, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee. Hot coffee.
I think he did, what's that, espresso? I think.
Yeah.
It took us 4 hours to find a guy
That had Starbucks.
An espresso.
in a very shady area that, had an espresso machine in a baby
So
carriage.
we go into this strip club, and it probably has not been, the inside has not been updated since probably about 1975. And they have those old-fashioned, like, disco chairs that you sit in and you could spin. So New Jack is just spinning around, all the while telling us about how great the Puerto Rican strip clubs are because he gets blown for $10. So a girl comes over.
He didn't tell me that. I must have been in the bathroom.
Exposing a lot, dude. You're exposing a lot.
I think I was in the VIP room at the time.
Yeah, you had a couple ladies you knew from Circle K.
Right.
So New Jack is spinning like a little child in a spin chair for the first time. And a hefty gal came over, and she was talking to him. And New Jack, I didn't hear the negotiations, but they're going back and forth. New Jack all the time is spinning, and, he slows down to talk to her, but, he's still spinning like a child. Well, he looks at me, and he goes, This strip club is bullshit because this girl won't blow me for $10. It's bullshit. Fuck this place and fuck your pocket. So he rips the pocket right off my shirt, so it's just hanging and dangling.
Dress shirt, man.
I had a dress shirt on because, I figured dress up for New Jack. So my pocket is just hanging off my shirt.
Did you ever think of getting confrontational with him at that point?
Absolutely not. I said,
was he
sorry,
like,
sir.
I didn't like this pocket anyway.
You said, I'm sorry, sir, after he ripped your pocket.
Well, and then
Sorry, I had this pocket.
Sorry, I had this pocket,
well, then,
sir.
Jack,
I'm noticing a theme with you, man. You call a lot of pro wrestlers sir.
because I get scared. So then, somehow he knew between Aaron and I that we had $40. So he demands our money, but only in singles because he says in Georgia he makes it rain. So we gave him our $40 because he's already pissed off at that point, and Fresh knew how much coffee he had drank.
How many more pockets were there to spare?
No, none. So he gets $40. And he just throws it without making it rain and goes, we're going to the hotel.
No. He throws like a 2-seam fastball at the girl on stage. Like it hits her in the face, and she was legitimately injured. Like, what the fuck? And it's just money just drops on the ground. Like it didn't rain at all. It was like hail. It was like she got hit with a hailstorm.
He made it hail.
So then we go back to this hotel, and since he didn't like that one, somebody from AIW got him the best hotel in Cleveland. It was the Hilton downtown. He walks in and he goes, guys, come here. And he got real serious and he goes, I want to tell you guys something. And we're thinking, what the fuck is going to happen at this point? He goes, I just want to let you guys know Dave Meltzer said I'm the top 5 promo in wrestling. He goes, there's Dusty Rhodes, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Rowdy Piper, and me. And we're just okay, that's cool. Did you get an award? He goes, no, he just told me. So then he starts teaching us how to cut promos. And this went on for about, 3 hours?
Yeah, we were in the hotel with Van Hughes and then Brandon X.
Did he have the espresso machine with him?
I think he kept going into the
I think there was
bathroom
still a
and
couple cups of coffee left out of it.
So his big point, it took 3 hours to get to the point of, he goes, you guys got the Cleveland Browns. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. He goes, you just talk in your promos every time about the killing fields, how the football people are going to kill themselves. And we're just we got to go, man.
Yeah, but we didn't. I mean, we sat there for.
I was scared.
God, it had to have been.
What's the pocket looking like at this
5
point?
hours.
Just fucking dangling.
Did he ever bring it up? Did he ever say you look like shit, man? Your fucking shirt's ripped.
My pocket just dangled.
No apology.
Well, he still looked like $1 million compared to me because when we went to between all this, we went to a classy strip club, and at that time I couldn't get in because I was wearing a sleeveless shirt.
Josh Babb style.
Yeah. So here I am. I walk in. They won't let me into the strip club. New Jack's like, I'll take care of this. We come back out to the car. He goes in his gear bag. He gets a shirt for himself, and then he takes the shirt off his back. New Jack gave me the shirt off his back, a 6XL, because that's what gangsters wear, and he puts it on me.
It looked like a nightgown.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it was down past my knees. I'm 5'3", so this shirt's past my knees. I come back to the strip club. They let me in.
You might as well have been wearing a bed sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man.
Speaking of strip clubs, we can talk about the time you got booked in West Virginia and you didn't have a license. So you're like, hey, guys, can you take me to West Virginia? I got this booking. So we drive all the way to West Virginia. And, of course, we can't leave without having some fun because it was a pretty boring trip. Nothing going on. So I remember we had dinner with Shima Zion at an Eden Park. But that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is when the three of us and then there was another guy in the car, we drove around to every parking lot we could find in West Virginia and asked any rough-looking customer, where do we get trouble?
The point of the story is you were traveling with quite a few fucking issues of Blacktail magazine for some reason.
No. We had stopped at the porno store, got one issue because it was $9.99.
I don't know, man. I think he had a couple Blacktails.
No. It only comes out once a month.
I don't know. I think you had a subscription in the trunk.
Yeah, it was like the one they come two in a bag. That's,
No. That was
closed.
the PA Connection swinger magazines. So we get to I buy because you bought
you were trying to get into some weird shit, man.
You grabbed a grab bag of porn. Thorne grabbed a grab bag of porn magazines, the whatever is left on the shelves after the month or whatever. I bought a brand new mint condition copy of Blacktail magazine.
Because you love the sisters, man.
I love the sisters. So we're driving down the road, and the other guy in the car is named Sean Blaze. He's like a local guy. He decides, it'd be funny if I throw the Blacktail magazine to the other car.
Oh, man.
Gust of wind blew away. It's the second maddest I've ever been, other than the honky tonk man trying to watch
$9.99 fucking down the tubes. You didn't even get to enjoy that Blacktail.
No. And then his $80 him hat flew off his head, and he is almost in tears, and he goes, oh my God. He goes, go back and get my hat. I said, if we're going back, fuck your hat. I'm getting my Blacktail magazine back.
And you never got that.
Did we get either? No, I don't think we did.
So anyways, we're driving around this West Virginia town, and we go, where's the trouble? And this one guy goes, go, 3 blocks
Did we wind up with Van Hughes on this trip for some reason?
No, but he found out where we were.
He
said
gave
it was
us
a great place.
Yeah, he gave us
recommended
like the directions.
Yeah, we went to a real shady strip club.
We
I know
found
that.
this strip club, and
Trying to get a hand ski in there.
It looks like just a random door, no markings or anything. Right. And you walk up to this door, and it says knock real hard and we'll open it up for you. So we're fucking pounding on this door like nobody's business. I can't believe we didn't knock it over.
It was for sure swingers.
You guys had me knocked because police officer.
Official. Tommy Rich is your sheriff.
You had your fucking.
So I'm knocking like the police.
So it says if nobody answers, call this number. So we call this number, and they go, it's Sunday night at 9 o'clock. You obviously are cops. And we go, we just want a good time. So we ended up in this other strip club, and we only had $20 among us because I had spent all my money on Blacktail magazines. So you bought a beer.
I don't think any of us had jobs at this point.
No, I don't think so. So you spent money. You spent $8 on a beer. So we had approximately $12. So there might have been tax or something. $12, and we stayed for 4 hours while the Sean Blaze was stuck in the car because he didn't have his ID, and we purposely tried to see how long we could stay in there.
Because you're pissed about the Blacktail magazine.
Oh, so mad.
That's ultimately the fucking moral of the story is don't take the Blacktail magazine from
And if
you.
you bring Blacktail magazines to AIW, I might let you in for free.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
You just told some guy on Twitter that you wouldn't give him a discount if you brought us 4 Locos.
Because I don't drink Four Locos.
Well, fuck, me and Aaron will drink those 4 Locos. I think me and Aaron drank 8 beers apiece during the fucking opening match at Absolution 11.
What about the Four Locos night?
Oh, yeah, the fucking stand-up.
That was $5 off your ticket if you brought Four Loco
original recipe. How fucked up was everybody that day, man?
Oh, I remember the Olsen twins.
Dude, I don't know why we did this, but it was, well, I can tell you exactly why we did it. We did it because we wanted to try to get as many free Four Locos as possible for the wrestlers.
And it ended up with a huge write-up in Scene Magazine.
Yeah, so like they decided that they're gonna ban the original formula of Four Loco because fucking people are losing their minds, and we decide that we're gonna make this fake publicity stunt called "Stand Up for Four Loco," and stand up for the fucking the original way God intended it to fucking be served, and we make this dumb like "Stand Up for Four Loco" thing on Twitter. Probably didn't even exist at the time. Maybe Facebook, and like
MySpace, bro. Yeah,
we made like some fucking bullshit like press release and we sent it out. And I'm getting like interviewed by the local media, and the newspaper runs a story, and we decide if you bring Four Locos, you get $5 off your admission to AIW.
We had like 100 of them.
Oh, at least 100 Four Locos, and we drank every single one that day. I think fucking Jimmy Jam Olsen had about 8. I know that there's a certain now.
He drank 4 of them and spilled 4.
Yeah,
they had them cracked open on the apron. They were doing hot tags, and the cans were getting knocked over. Yeah.
I know now the new voice of Monday Night Raw had quite a few, and then wrestled a casket match.
Guy could barely stand.
Yeah, dude, like that was.
I'm pretty sure when he got put in the casket for the end of the match, he took a nap.
Yeah, he just went to sleep. Yeah, fuck, man. And then.
Well, real quick, we have another story about Van Hughes. We did a show in Butler, Pennsylvania one time.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. I don't think Aaron was along for this.
No, this was we were with Pedro and a couple other people.
Well, long story, like I'll make this one short because I want to talk more about Aaron doing weird shit in wrestling because he's done a lot. But I'll tell this Van Hughes story real quick. So long story short is this guy, this promoter, his name is Joe Rogers. I think he promotes now.
Still in the business.
He rents our ring and all this shit and blah, blah, blah. And he books Balls Mahoney and all these fucking people.
Just incredible.
Well, nobody comes to his fucking show. He paid us half up front and said he would give us the rest of the money afterwards.
He maybe drew 50 people, but so he had 50 people worth of money at least.
So intermission, I see him grab the cash box and leave. And I try to follow him, like, down the road, but he fucking, like, he loses me through an alley or something. So,
I was with you, and I don't think you and I have ever run faster. It was like a 80s cop movie. You and me are just hauling ass following this guy, and he's just dipping and ducking out of alleyways.
So anyway, we call Van Hughes because we know he lives in Butler, PA, and I don't know what Van Hughes does besides roll with New Jack, but Van Hughes shows up and he somehow like interrogates people cop style and gets somebody to give up this guy's address of where he lives.
He was like he had like an interrogation room. He's pulling people in, and yelling at them.
Yeah. So anyway, I get in the car and he goes,
and I'm in the back seat, so I can't see any of this, but Thorne sees it all.
And he goes, "Hey, open up the glove box." And I open up the glove box. He pulls out a 9mm and he pulls out a silencer. Like I've never seen a silencer other than in a movie. And he puts it on and he goes, "Let's go get that fucking money, man." And I was like, "What the fuck am I about?" Like this dude's about to go murder somebody for $200.
So this guy doesn't.
These are New Jack's friends that we have met throughout the fucking our lives. I'm like losing my fucking mind. Like,
and I'm just thinking nothing's going on because he saw it, but I didn't. So I just am thinking, oh, we're gonna go find this guy and. Real quick, but Van Hughes is walking up and down this guy's street.
He's interrogating the fucking neighbors.
Like, what do you know about this guy? Where does he live?
He's acting like he fucking works for the fucking CIA. He's got this fucking silenced pistol just out in the open, just fucking harassing the fucking neighbors.
We go to this guy's
and it was
house.
like 100% real. Like, and I'm just like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, who cares about the $200? This guy is gonna fucking murder somebody, and I'm gonna be here.
Thorne goes to open the guy's door to see if it's locked. Van Hughes pushes him so hard.
And then he does like a fucking front roll police fucking maneuver with the fucking gun.
Now, did he smarten you up to this?
No.
No.
So you're just standing there like an asshole at the door while Van Hughes is tumbleweeding through.
Thorne into grass.
Dude, he's doing like combat maneuvers.
Yes.
And he has the gun in a movie. Like he's looking in the doorway. He goes, just fucking walk in. He's like kicking in doors.
And then it all fucking came back to me that he fucking filmed a fucking bounty hunter's pilot with New Jack, and this is why he's doing all these moves, and this is why he has all these fucking weapons. So yeah, fuck, man, Van Hughes and New Jack, that was a wild era in AIW. Trying to think of some,
Did you guys ever get him that footage?
Oh my God, New Jack. So we had
you're gonna have to book him after this airs.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
Hold before you even. Well, I guess this will lead into it about the phone calls.
So anyways, we had a girl in the crowd, Flash, and if anybody knows AIW, you know exactly who flashed. Well, anyways,
she flashes at every show, but we just don't.
Flashes at every show.
We just don't publicize it for all you out of towners. There's all kinds of girls flashing in the crowd, but it's a secret.
So New Jack had a documentary crew there. I don't know what it was for or anything, but she flashed.
It's for his next DVD, man. He told you 100 times.
So she flashed for the camera. Well, the show happened on a Sunday. Monday morning, I woke up and I had 35 missed calls. My phone never stopped ringing, and New Jack kept going, "Where's my fucking footage? Where's my footage?" Because I guess he recorded it on our cameras or something, and he goes, "Where's that fucking footage? Get it online. Get it online. I need it for my documentary." This guy called me no less than 300 times, and I'm not exaggerating. And he threatened my life. He screamed at me, and he goes, "How do you not have this footage online already?" I'm like, "Dude, I got home at 3 a.m. It's 9 a.m. right now."
And did he know who your producer was then?
Exactly. It took a year to release a DVD.
Show DVDs weren't coming out for 9 to 10 months.
Where is that titty footage? I need it for my DVD.
Dude, New Jack could have probably got titty footage from any fucking girl in the world, but he wanted this titty footage so bad.
I had to turn my phone off that rest of the day.
Yeah, and how many times did he call you? Didn't he just start with calling you for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times?
I got quite a few phone calls from New Jack, and I like talking to New Jack. The problem was
it was an hour each time.
No, I was on minutes at the time. We could prepay cell phone. Yeah,
was he burning up your fucking cards?
Yeah. I had to keep going to the Dollar General and picking up a new card, getting 30 new minutes on it.
I remember when you would text me, and then you'd be like, I can't text for the next month, man. I got to get money.
It costs 5 cents a text.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, you've come a long way from the days of not paying taxes, not having a license, not
Now
knowing
you're
knowing who your kids were. Now you're like a fucking full-fledged adult all these years later. It's kind of amazing.
How much more fun did you have as a real adult or back in the day?
Oh, I don't know. I can't really compare the two different eras. You know, it's like that was the Attitude Era.
How
bad?
This is the PG era.
Ruthless aggression.
Yeah, and Aaron was nice enough to have me in his wedding, but he had a nice suit on. How mad did your wife get when you cut up that suit? That was almost a divorce, huh?
I don't even know. I think I told a lie about that. I think I worked her, you know, and I said something happened to the suit. I can't remember. But it's like, you know what's weird, though, is that we said retirement earlier. I think I've hung out with you guys more over the past, an episode today, last week's episode, and then Jerry's farewell that I came in to commentate and produce Absolution promos for.
Then Jerry's big mega farewell too.
Right.
Yeah, I guess nobody really knows that, but maybe you should touch on that real quick. Is how you kind of took on the character development role in the promo role for the DVDs. I don't think a lot of people know that, and I think you should probably you should get that credit for that. And what did you think of taking on that role, because it was just kind of thrown at you?
Yeah, well, you said you wanted to get me more involved, and
because you were always way more involved than an average worker.
Right.
So might as well.
You're in the inner circle. You're like
you were in inner circle.
I've had lots of soup, lots of bowls of soup with you guys.
Yeah, you were office for. I mean, you probably are the only employee to ever be in booking meetings.
You're like our Bruce Pritchard, man.
Brother love.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of soup and lots of notebook paper with scribble
A lot
on
of bad
it.
ideas.
A lot of hours spent at the diner.
Yeah.
The Blue Sky Cafe.
Oh man, fuck! You're giving up our location.
Yeah.
The Blue Sky with the soups.
We ain't been there in a while. So.
I know. Now we just do it on Facebook chat, man. Technology.
Right.
But I think it's crazy how many people their first promos are with you, and they might have been around a couple years, and they're like, nobody's ever tried to challenge me to do a promo before.
Yeah, a lot of them, they just start off with the basic intro promo. My name is John from Cincinnati.
I'm here to win.
I hope I win the match tonight because you're going to lose and not me. And then it's like, whoa, man, wait, hold on. What's your work name? What? Louis Linden? Oh, no, wait, man, you're the captain of the ship. And then,
Dude, I was just gonna say that, was it crazy for you to see at Absolution 11 that something that you said on commentary or told him to say in a promo, he has shirts of, and now he's totally embraced that captain of the ship thing.
I love it.
And that's just something you probably said off the cuff, that's the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
And probably 3 years ago, and now it's
right.
and now it's a
Yeah.
thing.
Hey, way to capitalize on it, timely manner.
And I think we could talk probably real quick about your biggest feud in AIW, which was you versus the women's wrestling fans.
I love women's wrestling. I love all
But
wrestling.
I don't think they understand in 2016 what Bobby Heenan was.
Yeah, I don't think they understood you were trying to pay homage to Bobby Heenan.
Well, not only that, but then it was the end goal was the G&O events were not really respected at first. The women wrestlers weren't as respected, and eventually we would get to that point where I would be like, "Oh shit,
This has become something."
yeah,
But
these girls are good."
People didn't want to stick around for that ride and that payoff for that story.
and they were canceling DVD orders, and
People didn't get that. You were building to where you had to be oh man, I was wrong for these last 10 volumes. This is serious. This has lasted. But people didn't understand you were trying to drag out this long storyline.
We're telling stories, and people don't like stories.
Right.
Yeah, people don't like going along for the ride. They're just oh man, fuck this guy. I'm canceled. This company is sexist. And
I think you almost had a boycott at one point.
yeah, there was a point, and you guys were like, "Oh, it's probably the end for you on GNO."
yeah, we
And
better
I was like,
fucking-
"Yeah, all
Gotta
right."
eat.
Then you guys brought in Paul Aaron Rodgers as the women's wrestling expert, And the first thing I did with him was I was like, dude, this is probably my last show unless this changes. So here's the deal. You tell me that you heard me complimenting women's wrestling, and then I'll say, yes, it's great. And then we'll see what happens. And all of a sudden, I got probably no less than 16 messages on between Facebook and Twitter within like the first hour that the DVD was available. Like, oh, man, you saw the light. Man, your commentary was great. I can't believe you changed everything. And it was like, oh.
And we had brought him on just almost like a baby face to please those fans.
Yeah. He was a women's wrestling expert.
Yeah,
he was at an event that we had a women's wrestling match, so he became the women's wrestling expert.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's how you get jobs, man. That's how things are. That's how roles are filled.
Hey,
we needed somebody to be it.
He paid us $75 to do commentary, and we're just like, hey, let's roll with it.
You're an expert.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he wasn't that bad, and it was like, oh, I could, yeah.
And we needed somebody to bridge that gap with the women's fans.
And then he writes so eloquently, so it was like, hey man, none of us are writing shit like this.
Yeah, he had that Tumblr hot for a while.
Yeah, and then even commentary as a whole, you were kind of thrown into, and had to learn that.
Yeah, I actually got my first like long-term commentary gig with you guys because what happened? Somebody
Wadsworth, I think, was just doing it solo, and we were like, he needs somebody.
No, it was Wadsworth and somebody else.
Boone.
Drew.
Ben Boone and Drew Carter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Drew moved.
And yeah, Ben Boone missed his cue or something with wrong music. Or,
that is a true story. That'll be another time.
But
I didn't even know his fucking music.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, 5 minutes before the show.
Right across
and
the
you
street. That venue's right across the street from where we're taping.
How do you not know your own music?
Yeah. Like, hey, man, can you go out there and do some commentary with Wadsworth? I was like, yeah, cool, man. And then I went out there and I called like 2 matches with Wadsworth, and then he got upset about something. He was like texting, and I was flying solo, basically. I'm like, what's going on?
You got people with you, and I think Vic came on for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's just kind of how it goes in wrestling. You just kind of get thrown into these roles.
Yeah, you were definitely our utility man. I mean, anything we ever needed, you did.
Babysitting New Jack, commentary, promo coaching, getting New Jack his coffee.
Hot coffee.
Yeah.
And we got your taxes done for the first time in 10 years, so
right.
it all kind of panned out. I guess we're kind of winding down here, but what do you got going on in the future? Are you gonna are we gonna see you again? Are you gonna pop in and out? What do you think?
Yeah.
I don't think you could 100%. I don't think anybody can 100% walk away.
I mean, Pedro did a
wrestling.
25-minute crying speech, and he was back within 3 months. So.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just say it's not like I'm gone forever. I will never be gone forever. I'll be gone for a little while, and then I'll come back and visit.
Yeah, we'll take you anytime. I told you, I think about 100 times you got an open door.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's very few people that I think, it's hard as promoters to let anybody into like the inner circle because everyone's kind of out for themselves and things like that. So like it's very hard to actually like want to be around somebody, and like you are definitely one of the like that guy for us. Probably the only guy for us is like you and like LFC and sometimes the Duke, sometimes not the Duke. We're gonna do a whole episode on the Duke.
Depends on if Pete gets hot or not.
Yeah, I was trying to get him down here this week to talk about the great Canadian blowjob conspiracy, but he's
now we got the Illyria blowjob conspiracy.
Yeah, Duke's a little nervous to tell that story, so we'll see. But yeah,
you guys, you have to protect things because you've had several partners in the past who. They go off and try to do their own thing.
Yeah, I mean, multiple ones. So like it's hard to let people in because like we've experienced so much bad and drama once people get into that inner circle, and like
we could probably do an entire episode about nightmare situations with other partners.
Nightmare partners and nightmare people like getting a little too close and kind of affecting the business. So I think as time went on. You kind of coming on board and taking so much of the burden off of us on show days and stuff like that was like,
and like to go
amazing.
back to say about Pedro, I think Pedro had his strengths that he took away from like roles that he covered, and then you did too. So between the two of you, you guys were like covering everything so we could run better shows.
And like with you guys both kind of in and out now, it's like it's been such a wake up call to us because it's like, fuck, who's gonna? Nope, there's nobody to do the promos. I don't have time to do the promos. Who's fucking moving the ring? Who's setting the ring up? Like, where's pay? You know, like all these people did all these jobs, and you know, real life kind of takes over. So
these damn kids.
But like for me, I looked at it when I was thinking about being done, and I was like, okay, where are we at now? Most of the roster knows their characters. They're comfortable with themselves. They can cut promos pretty much, you know, without me there. I mean, I'd like to think I give them good ideas or whatever.
Except that time Jasmine had that intense title. Sorry, words.
And what else? Commentary. You guys have, I don't know, 6 other guys doing commentary.
What about that Glenn Moore guy? Ugh.
I haven't heard him yet. There's a reason for it, though. No, I don't know. And so, you know, you got commentary kind of covered. And so it's like it felt like this would be the best time for me that I could walk away without feeling like I deserted AIW.
Yeah,
I don't think you did. But
like we had all the roles covered or whatever, but
it'll never be the same. But I mean, I definitely think we're covered.
Yeah, we definitely want you back, though, is what we're trying to say.
Please don't go. Please don't go.
But yeah, you know, I guess, you know, this was kind of an episode for people to kind of hear your origins and kind of the crazy debauchery that you know, made us love you so much. You know,
and I'm still dying to meet Lacey, FYI.
Is she still around?
Kind of.
She's like a doctor now or something.
Yeah.
Robles hangs out with her.
Robles.
I like Robles better.
Yeah, easier to say.
But yeah, you got anything you want to say to people as you go on your
That
vacation?
You hate women's wrestling.
I love women and women's wrestling.
You respect their ability in the ring.
Sure do. And all wrestling, and I don't know. I wish more people did promos. I wish. Let me see. I wish people that were indie wrestlers, when they sign their names, they would sign them in cursive and not print. I wish more people took promos seriously. I wish people worked on an end for their promo and a beginning for their promo, because those are the hardest things. I don't know. I wish more people did podcasts as guests, because seriously, you get so much experience talking just by doing like a half-hour podcast.
Dude, like, I could have never have done this if I didn't do a million blog talk radio interviews that nobody ever heard. I could never be a podcaster.
There's like so many like smaller podcasts that I would do to kind of get the word out about AIW, but also at the same time
test some shit out.
Yeah, it was always like the first run of a joke.
And
it was like your house show. It was like your house shows.
Exactly.
But to go back to like our origin story with you, when we were saying we were working shindies in Cleveland, I think all 3 of us got more comfortable with working and talking on the mic at these little shows because there was no pressure.
Right.
So yeah, you know, and if you are a aspiring wrestler that needs help, be sure to annoy Aaron Bauer online for tips and send him your promos and let him critique you, because like this guy is responsible for pretty much every promo that we have done in the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. He produced them all. He was, you know, the lead kind of promo producer, pre-tape producer. And I know we're one of the only indies that, you know, tries to do stuff like that and develop characters, and Aaron is the guy that was responsible for it.
I think he's the king of smoothing the rough edges, because there's some people that criticize us because they're like, oh man, these promos are brutal. But if people aren't doing them, they're never going to be able to do them.
Right. Like you had the Dukes idea. We were sitting there over soup one day. Tyson Dukes, man, he's a great worker. Love to have him, you know, continue to be on the shows. Don't know what the fuck to do with him. And I remember Biggins going, I see him as like the Lance Storm type. That was it, man. That set the light bulb off in my head, and I was ready.
Like,
you know, oh my God, yes, let's do all these things. I'll watch paint dry with him, and he'll make it entertaining, and we'll read the phone book, and that'll be entertaining.
To talk about dudes getting out of their shell, I think Tyson was one of those guys. I think AIW, and I know he said privately to Thorne and I, we kind of revitalized his career because he was definitely a serious, like, hard-nosed guy, and I think AIW really kind of burst the gates open with his charisma, because he does deep down somewhere have charisma.
Oh, yeah. It's just bringing it out of him, putting him in the right situation.
Well, I guess we will kind of wind it down here. We're, getting along. So I'll throw it to you, Glenn.
One little tidbit for you, Aaron. When these guys, I wanted to do commentary, and I was given a tryout match, and I watched any free match I could on YouTube with your commentary.
Oh,
Could have watched some.
To kind of give a feel of what I watched shows before, but to kind of really dissect how your delivery is. So I learned a lot just by watching some free YouTube matches.
Well, thanks. Are you doing like heel commentary?
Yeah, more heel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to you sometime. It's hard now because it's such a fine line. Like you can't.
People
shit
don't
on,
like heels.
Yeah.
They don't want heels anymore. They want to be like they want to respect your work as a heel, but you can't be a real heel. It's weird.
Well, like the other day, Prohibition was winning the belt. Right after he won the belt, and Thorne comes up and goes, "Hey, get out there with the baby faces. We need baby faces out there." And I was like, I think I'm the voice of all heels. But really, when I came out there, everybody was like, "Oh yeah,"
because they liked your work as a heel. But if you're a real heel, they would just be like, "Oh, fuck that guy."
Right.
If I was I'm going to the concession stand.
Yeah, if I was still, shitting on women's wrestling or something, they would have been mad.
And there's a fine line between being an annoying heel and a heel they can respect, because I feel like, especially young commentators who try to be a heel and try to be a bad guy on the microphone, they try too hard and it just becomes annoying. There's a fine line of being annoying.
And you got to get the product over in the ring. You got to get the company over. You got to get the performers over, but in a way that, you're a voice for them.
Right.
And I think the hardest part is in 2016, people don't want real heat. Because if you get real heat, people just won't buy your shows and you go out of business.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, fuck this. It has offended me because of this and this."
Right.
And like they don't understand that you're just trying to get heat and trying to get a reaction. Now they want you to play the character of a heel and what they know as a heel, and if you do that well within the the realms of what they know, they're like, "Oh, this guy's a great heel." But if you're a true heel, they don't like you. It's all fucking backwards now. But it's like the evolution of where we're at right now, and I blame social media a lot for that, and the sensitivity of the world. But that's a whole other fucking podcast. But Aaron, it's been a pleasure working with you for fucking 10 years. Over a decade.
Yeah, I was there from year one, right?
Yeah, year one. So
every absolution,
every one. You'll have to come back every year at least. You
be Undertaker.
Yeah. So you and the Duke. Fuck.
Who would have thought? The guy that did my taxes. That absolution one.
Legendary careers.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for us.
That's going to wrap it up. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, download the show. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and leave a comment and leave us 5-star rating for us, because the show deserves it. We appreciate all the downloads. We look at the numbers, and they keep on going up each and every week. So we really appreciate you guys talking about it on social media and plugging the show and telling your friends about it. So
this will be the lowest rated one.
I'm sure Aaron will be back too. I have a feeling that he'll be back with us in the near future for some shows. So, all right, we'll talk to you guys next week. This has been The Card Is Going to Change, presented by AIW.
Thanks.
God damn it, you stopped.